Hi everybody, just doing the Bachelor recap. Tonight was one of the season premieres. So Peter had the two girls, Hannah Ann and Madison, meet his family. So the first one was Hannah Ann, and his mom, Peter's mom, said that she's very loving and caring. And his dad said, you seem like you're extremely compatible. Not to Hannah Ann, but to the camera. He said that they seem like that. She is a genuine and good-hearted person, which I forget exactly who said that, but anyway. And then Peter was talking to his dad, and he said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because his heart, he's in love with both of them, and he's freaking out. And then Madison, so the meeting with his parents and Madison did not go good. It didn't go good at all. So they had a talk before, and she said, you put your feelings, wants, and needs over mine. It really was the first time that they had talked since the overnights, the fantasy suites, and they no eye contact during this whole entire talk. Like body language, like her leg was like totally turned the other way as him, and she was just like this, like wouldn't look at him or face him really. Anyway, so after they kind of talked about it, she was like, I've been fighting for you, right? And it's been a struggle, but she's been like really trying to get through it. And she said that she's in love with him. And then they were like at the end, and he was trying to kiss her, and she wouldn't kiss him. She would just be like, no. And I couldn't really tell if she was just being playful or she like really didn't want to kiss him, Anyway, they get to the meeting with the family, and the dad says, you can tell she's strained, and the brother says, Madison is raising red flags, and they had all these questions and disputes about her, and that they didn't know if they would be a good fit and all this stuff. And then that's when Peter's mom started crying, and she said about Hannah Ann, don't let her go. This is what dreams are made of, and all this stuff about Hannah Ann, and that she's a perfect girl for Peter, and all this stuff. And they did not want him to have anything to do with Madison. And he was like, well, I'm the one that has to spend the rest of my life with that person, so I'm gonna choose who I want, kind of thing. He didn't say that to them, but he said it to the camera. But yeah, and then Maddie and him went on a date together, because they get to go on 2 dates after, or one date each after the family thing. And so Maddie and him go on a date, and they go to this rock in Australia. It's like supposed to be a really spiritual place, and so it was a good place for them to go, because Madison's super spiritual. Anyway, so they go on a helicopter ride, and then Madison has this deep talk with Peter, and just is saying that they're so different, and that things are more clear now, and she's like questioning their compatibility, and she ends it with Peter. And they go, and she goes home. She sends herself home, like, and Peter is really upset by it. He's really upset by it. Chris Harrison comes to talk to him, and he's like, I don't know if I can continue. I don't know if I can do this. And then he decides to go on the date with Hannah Ann, and they go feed baby kangaroos and have such a good time together. And I think it kind of changed his heartache a little bit. And I hope so anyway. And then they go and hang out at her suite afterward and have a talk. And he can't really look her in the eye, and he's saying that his heart's being pulled in two places, which is like really hard for her to hear because she's like super confident, thinking that they're gonna be a thing, and she's hearing that he is having such a hard time. It makes her really anxious. And she was saying, my last quote here, it's painful to be here, but it's not going to change how I feel about you. And so she really likes him, and that's how they leave it. And they kept saying, if you think you know how this is gonna end, you don't know how it's gonna end, because it's crazy. So I guess tomorrow it's gonna be, woo! It's gonna be totally nuts. So see